So, the way that we see that public officials handle themselves whenever they're challenged, whenever they are made to do the job that they've been elected or hired to do, or when they're been challenged, where they're being challenged to actually uphold the Constitution that they swore to uphold. The level of pushback that you see from these folks, the level of denial, and the way that they want you to think that you are reading the laws incorrectly and that you're interpreting things incorrectly. It's a mass narcissistic cult, because when you talk about people who are in government positions, they automatically feel this little sense of power. It might not be much, but for some people, all they need is a little bit, and they can fucking run with it for their entire lives. They can identify with it. And if you challenge that power, you blow the lid off a volcano, because their ego with that power is so fragile, because they understand that the power they wield is very little, but it makes them feel so big. And if you take that little bit of power from them, they won't feel so big anymore. It'll take their importance from them. Knowing that's the level of disconnection for the worker bees, for the ones that uphold the system, who are profiting from it and either just being part of the power structure themselves and enjoying that power and that feeling, that hedonistic, I can do whatever I want in this position, feeling protected, immune. Those people we see how they operate. Once you give people that kind of power, just a little bit, they operate terribly, very selfishly. Now let's upscale it to the billionaires, the disconnected rich people, the extremely disconnected rich people. Now convince them that what they're doing is wrong. Good luck. They're very successful monetarily, and when we say success, we don't mean personally. They may feel personally successful now that they have all the resources they could ever want and don't need to stress every day about where they're getting their next meal, or if they're going to have a roof over their head, or if some slumlord is going to kick them out because they complained about something broken in the home that they're renting for 300% more than they should be paying. The people who are raping and pillaging this country aren't going to be convinced that they're doing anything morally wrong, and they're going to do everything in their power to convince you that you should be more like them. Therefore, you won't find a problem in it. Meanwhile, it only works for 3% of the country. It takes 97% of us to support 3%. It's communism for 3%, socialism for 3%. You're not going to be able to convince these people that they're doing anything wrong. This is why we have laws that are written and are very specific. Some would argue we have way too many. It's a possibility, but once you get into writing one law, you can't stop there. And really what the laws do is protect most of these types of people. But if you use it and the way that you were taught in school, as the Constitution protects the people, they hate that. So all I'm saying, I think, is just keep those cameras rolling whenever it comes to dealing with government officials. Always record public officials in the capacity of their duties. No government official should have any problem with transparency in the First Amendment.